Solar here. Welcome back to my channel where we talk all things social media and personal branding. So if you have landed on my channel before, it is more than likely that you are looking to either define and grow your personal brand or grow your social media page. Even if you haven't started that process yet and you're just gathering information, the tips that I'm going to share today are things that you can think about today when you're done watching this video. And these are the mistakes that I frequently see people make in the beginning of their personal brand journey. So before I dive into those, I want to acknowledge that saying you're in the beginning of your personal brand journey is odd because whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, you have a personal brand. Everybody does. When I say personal brand journey, I mean being intentional about how you show up in a room, how you show up online, and what your personal brand is telling those around you. So again, we're going to talk about those mistakes that people make early on. And it feels odd to even say mistakes, honestly, because these things aren't life or death. Like when we're building our personal brands, when we're building our social media pages, we are not doing rocket science. More than likely, the mistakes that we're going to make are going to be a grammatical error or putting the wrong punctuation somewhere. And the mistakes outside of that are more mental, and they typically are the things that separate successful business owners from business owners who are seeing success, but they just maybe feel stuck, right? Maybe they are not skyrocketing the way that they had intended. And it usually comes down to these three things. So first of all, the biggest mistake, you don't give yourself enough credit. I realized this when I started working with executive leaders, when I started working with business owners who have amazing stories and couldn't connect to that former part of themselves in order to tell it. So when I work with clients for the first time, I go through extensive interview. I ask them questions where they're like, why the hell are you even asking me this? But it's because I need to know who they are as a person before I can help them sell their personal brand and before I can help promote their business in a way that is authentic to them and matches who they are in person. I've noticed that literally almost everybody has imposter syndrome, and that's normal. That's a completely different topic of conversation, but it keeps them stuck in how they show up online. So if you can relate to that, I would say it's an easy fix. Start showing up. Man, it is going to feel weird. I will tell you, I create content every single day on multiple platforms, and sometimes it still feels weird for me. That is just how it feels to put yourself out there. But the benefit outweighs the risk in so many ways. This piece is the most important piece though, because if you are putting out a dumbed down or a weakened version of yourself because you feel like you don't have the skill set or you don't have the right to take up space, that is going to show, and that can actually hurt your brand. So there is a difference between self-promoting to the point where it is too much and not promoting yourself and your accomplishments and the things about you that are unique enough. We need to find that gray area, hone in on that, and make sure that you are showing up as the expert that you are. And bonus tip, even if you're not an expert yet, you still have a story. You are still working through something. So one of the first things I said in the first video I posted on YouTube is that I am not an expert at YouTube yet. I am literally building this publicly, and my YouTube channel might never take off, but guess what? I am still going to do it. I'm still going to show up because I know what it takes to be a business owner. I know things about social media. I know things about personal branding that other people might want to learn. So no matter where you are in your journey, you are the expert to somebody. Show up that way. The second mistake is posting without a strategy. So if you are posting photos of your family vacation, the workout class you just did, a business trip you go on, all of those things are part of you. They're your authentic experience, but they don't help you intentionally grow your personal brand. So you need a strategy. When I work with my clients, I create an in-depth strategy. But if you are just getting started and you are trying this thing for yourself, I don't want you to get stuck. I want you to keep watching this channel, go through the flow framework, which is the framework that I have created to help you develop this personal brand, and then get going. right? It kind of goes back to what I just said. All of these relate. We're going to build in public. We are going to post. We are going to show up, but we're not going to make the mistake of doing it without a strategy. The final mistake I see most often is people who have the strategy, they're excited to show up, they're creating their content and completely ignoring their community. From a personal branding standpoint, if you are putting out amazing content and people are reaching out to you and they want to work with you, but you are just, scheduling your content and you're not even seeing what the community is saying, that can actually hurt your personal brand. You need to be in the weeds. You need to reply to comments. You need to intentionally collaborate with people. You need to use the internet to network the same way you would use a chamber event or some sort of executive luncheon. The good news here is people often think that they need to spend all day online in order to do this, and you don't. Okay, this is something that you can effectively do in 10 to 15 minutes a day. To give you an example, I have scheduled this into my day. Not to say that I don't check social media otherwise. I would be lying if I said that. But I have intentional time to reply to DMs, reply to comments so that I can do so thoughtfully. So this 10 to 15 a day is super important, and it kind of holds up everything else that we just talked about. So again, you define your personal brand, you make sure you show up as the expert that you are, you don't make the mistake of posting just to post, you get in there and you build your community. And with that, you will build your personal brand. I know that all of these things sound so simple, and it's because they are. People get hung up simply because they overthink it and they don't want to make a mistake. Going back to what I said in the beginning, these mistakes are not life and death, okay? But being aware of them will help you show up more intentionally and create a stronger brand awareness for yourself and your business. Before you go, I would love if you like this video and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with the rest of the content coming your way. If any of these tips in particular stood out to you or you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And otherwise, I will see you soon.